So in the rolls today, went against Brian. So last time I rolled against Brian, he said that he always likes to go for guillotines, and I noticed like that puts me in weird positions. Because I don't really know how to defend it. So I guess I'm more defensive. I'm like trying to pull myself out of it. When I do it, yeah, I'm like pulling myself back. So I wind up in these weird positions where my posture's broken. Because he has a hold on my neck, but I'm like trying to pull out. So my neck is always like in a bad position. And then while I'm like trying to pull my body out. So it's interesting that when you're doing something that you're not familiar with, you're probably more likely to be in awkward positions where your posture is broken. Like I guess in most positions right now, I'm starting to understand where my body should be. So, for example, like my posture is better, or my stance is squared off, or just my body is naturally in better positions because I've been in them before and I know what's like uncomfortable and what's not. But when I'm in an uncomfortable position, when someone's doing an attack I don't recognize, then all I'm doing is trying to like get out of there. So I'm focusing on like one body part, like in this case my neck, and I'm just like trying to extricate the neck and not really thinking about how the rest of my body moves in relation to that. So everything gets sort of discombobulated. Then also rolled with Nina. I like rolling with Nina. She's like super technical. She's like really small, so she can't smash me. And I can't smash her because she's too good. So it's like when we roll, it's very, well, on her side, it's very technical. On my side, it's, I get to try things or work on things using like pure technique and not worrying about like using muscle or using force. If I do it against someone who's stronger than me, I need to use a certain amount of force or whatever, and then I feel like that takes away from the technique a bit because I'm focusing a little bit on force, maybe. And also I don't have to worry about them, like if I could be in a good position against someone stronger than me and they could just like overwhelm me. So like there's only a certain amount of negative impact that my technique can absorb, I guess. So obviously as you get better, you can deal with more force. But because I can't deal with the force, I'm sometimes like relegated to not using good technique, I guess. Or I'm just in bad positions because I can't deal with their force. So rolling with someone who's smaller but has really good technique allows me to just, I think, improve my technique. What else? Getting better with standing. I notice when I'm pulling guard, people just sit back and then my delihiva is kind of caught in their leg and I'm not sure what to do. So that's something I asked Tim. I got into sit-up guard against Nina, and she she sort of stiff on me. She got wrist grips, and then she stepped on my leg. Or somehow she created a lot of tension. She got wrist grips on me. Yeah. So what I should have done is you try to use that against her. Maybe because I could have brought her arm down and then grabbed her wrist with my left wrist. Maybe that would have been an idea. Yeah, I think that's something that I'm not good at. Is if someone gets wrist grips on me, I'm kind of like immobilized. I'm not exactly sure how to deal with it. So figure that out. Or just get a gi with smaller sleeves. I think that's it, though. Yeah. So today did close guard. So we started with the flower sweep. So one detail that I didn't notice before is it's a crazy guy across the street. Let's see, back heel with the leg on the side you're sweeping. So let's just say that's your left side, and then your right leg pulls up. Oh, the detail is, so after you do that, then you have to look over your left shoulder, not to the side, but like far back. And then go with the pendulum. It made a pretty big difference there. So then, so we did pendulum, and then, so that works when you can break down their posting hand. So when someone's standing up in close guard, they usually have a posting hand on your chest. So you get a lapel grip and you pull them down, and if it's not strong enough, and you can bring them down. You don't have to bring them all the way down, but if you can at least get like a little bit of bend in their elbow, then you try the pendulum or flower sweep. If you can't, that's what we worked on today. So you get the lapel grip, their arm is really strong, it doesn't do anything. So then you still have the cross wrist grip. So your right hand has that posting hand. Let's say it's the right hand. So your right hand has his right hand, like a sleeve grip. Your left hand comes inside. It can grab your other wrist. So your left hand comes inside of his arm and grabs your right wrist. So it forms like a cross. And then you can throw your head back and then push with your arm straight up to break his grip on your lapel. You always want kind of opposite forces when you're breaking grips. Then you go for an overhook. So I always have trouble with this. So once you break the grip, your back will be against the ground. So you immediately want to sit up and shoot your left hand through. So you're sitting up. You have to sit up. You can't pull him down. You need to sit up. Your left hand goes over his shoulder right by his ear and then clamps on his back. And then you can fall back. You don't fall back to your back, you fall back to your elbow. So you got to twist a little bit, fall back, and then as you're falling or after you fall, your arm, so you want that arm to shoot all the way up. So your shoulder should be like by his ear, or as close as possible. And then you hook over his arm. You hook over his arm, and then you put your thumb on your chest. So you're hooking even overhook on his arm, but like a deep overhook. It's not just around the side, it's like on top. So at this point, you have the overhook, you're on your elbow, you're on your right elbow. So your right arm shoots under and gets like a hook on his left knee, like a scoop. And then you actually want to use that to move your head closer. So the closer your head is to his left knee, the easier it'll be. So you do that, your left leg comes out and up. So your left leg comes up to your left shoulder. And that will sort of off balance them a little bit. And then you do the same pendulum sweep as before. Still, you have to make sure, again, to look over your left shoulder as you do it. So closer your head is to his knee, his left knee, and the more you look over the shoulder, the easier this will be. When we were drilling, someone was actually having trouble. I told them to get their head closer to the knee, and then they immediately swept me. So pretty crazy. Yeah. So like that. Then if they counter with moving their head to the far side of the body, so you can't sweep, then you do a punch choke. And if they move away from the punch choke, you can do an armbar. The armbar, I'm not exactly sure. Tim didn't really go into details on the armbar. It's not, you don't need to move at all. When they move back, I think their elbow slips so that your overhook is originally over their tricep bicep, and then if they pull back, now your overhook is like below and above their elbow. So because it's below and above the elbow, you can apply pressure down on the elbow and up on the levers on either side of the elbow. So that's the armbar there. But it was like a little, just have to figure it out. I don't think it's that hard, you just have to figure it out. Or if they pull it all the way out, you can go to an omoplata. Not all the way out, but, if they get the arm out to like the wrist or so, then you can go to an omoplata. Let's see. Yeah, so that was the 4 different alternatives that we went through today.